Hello. This is gonna be real janky because I have never streamed before, but I was like, I'm bored and lonely tonight, so this is what we're doing. And it will, if people have to pop in and out, I am gonna be saving this just as a VOD that people can watch. It's gonna be pretty low energy. Can you all hear me all right? Aw, thank you. Okay, cool. Good, I'm glad. And I can see you, which is great. Alright, so I have three cats left. They're all the elders and they're all sisters. So hopefully I can just bang them out. And that's why Mr. Thistlepelt and Miss Olivenose are here, because one of them is their mom, so I'm going to do her first. Old lady cats do go burr. Old lady cats are like my favorite. Just the elders in general, I love. I mean, no one is surprised. You've seen Mudstream. You know how I feel about elders. And the ones in this clan are really cool because, like I said, they're all sisters. There's three of them. And since I'm like, see, now you get to hear me without a script. But since I'm like basing them kind of around mythology and theater and all of that, I'm kind of basing them on the fates so that they have some kind of thing to differentiate them. Alright, so let's see. First one is gonna be the mom of these two. Her name is Sky Bloom. She's the present in the fates. The fates, it's past, present, future. She's like the nicest one, I think. Listen, no. I I have taken one public speaking class, and it was a public speaking class where we were allowed to have scripts. I'm fine when I'm reading off a script or when I have a script memorized. That's the other thing is I'm like, I am old theater kid myself. So that's kind of, this clan is kind of like self-indulgent for me in that way. Hmm. Do I want her to be real skinny? I think I do. I love a very skinny kitty. My old man cat is really skinny right now. He's got that like you pick him up and he just accordions. Fallen Angel. This is the second to last one. Sage Clan is the third, and then there's going to be one more after that. But also, I have three fan clans that are completely unrelated to these that I'm probably going to do, so theoretically, there's four more after this. I've also, I think, finally figured out how cat shoulders work. It only took me, what, like 30 cats. Now you also get to see it when it's not all sped up. Dude, Fallen Angel, I would love to do that. I like before I started drawing cats for YouTube, basically all of the art that I did was humans. I've learned to draw cats for this challenge, basically. I would love to do humanizations of some of the main characters. If people would want to watch that, I would totally do it. Yeah, I'm like kind of coming up with the plot as I develop them. I have about 20 pages of a Google Doc of a book written. But the more I, flesh out the characters and draw them and figure out what they're like, the more the plot comes together. Oh, okay, so technically the person who asked how many more clans are there, there's five because there's also rogues and loners for this story that I need to draw. Selkie, I'm not sorry. I was never into Warriors fandom as a kid, okay? I got into Warriors fandom because YouTube animation, if you look at any of the animated stuff on YouTube, it's all Warriors, and I was like, what are these cats doing? Yo, what the cat doing? And now I'm here. Dude, seriously, do not be scared to draw cats. It is not scary. It is super, like once you start, the more you draw them, the better you get. Like you've seen me. You saw how I started out drawing. Yeah, the good thing is, it was really easy to catch up. um, because I can read a Warriors book in about a day. They're not difficult books. Oh, yeah, true. You could draw a blob with a triangle. That's a perfect cat right there. Like, hang on. Kitty. So for this family, I'm thinking they all take a lot after the ladies. Like, it's a very matriarchal family. So Sky Bloom is gonna look a lot like Olive Nose, but more white. Because all the sisters are mostly white, mackerel or calico, tabby, tail and ears, which is a fur pattern this generator loves. I don't know what it is about this generator and tail and ears being certain colors, but like, okay, sure. Keith, my secret is that I just load it up on my Kindle and then read it in the bath because I take really long baths. Hey, thank you, Crispy. I shape language is like my favorite art thing. If I do wind up doing that video that's just like my art process and my tips and tricks, I'm gonna have a whole section on shape language and you all are gonna have to listen to me talk about it. I think I'll give her a little bit of a fluff, like a thistle pelt. They're all supposed to be short haired, but it's fine. It's fine. No one is paying that much attention. Yeah, that's the thing, Keegan. It's weird to me that the cats in like the cats in Warriors are basically just people. We can say it. They're just people that are furry and walk on four legs. Cause like cats are nocturnal for one thing. It's weird that the cats in Warriors sleep at night and then are awake during the day, instead of doing that thing cats do, where they're awake for like 3 hours and then sleep for 3 hours and then awake for 3 hours, sleep for 3 hours, hang out in the sunlight. Yeah, it really I'm not wrong. They're just little people, especially in later books. When I was reading the first one, I was like, oh, they're kind of like emoting like cats would. Like they do the blinks and stuff. But the longer it went on, the more they would just be like, you know, emote like humans. And that's there's nothing wrong with that. They like have magical powers and stuff. I don't think anybody expects them to be perfect paragons of what actual feral cats are like. That wouldn't be very fun to read about because then they'd just be sitting around meowing all the time instead of doing Game of Thrones stuff. Oh my god, little people and little cults who live around a pond. We don't want to, no, we don't want to go into my feelings about how much the Warrior series is basically just a story about several different factions of a fundamentalist cult who for some reason hate each other because that's what factions of cults do, even though they're all basically the exact same. And like that also, I don't have any problem with. I think I personally have a huge interest in stories like that about, cultural and religious shifts, so I have no issue with it, but it feels like the Aarons don't really realize that's what they're writing a lot of the time. Does that make sense? Scarlet, I think that those names, like, there's a story there. I mean, I'm sure there is because, you named them and they're your fan clans, but I like them in that I'm like, why are they called that? Does that make sense? Also, Tribe of the Blind Eye just makes me think of Gravity Falls, so, like, you got me there. I'm already on board. Now we do the customary canvas flip. Oh, sweetie. Oh no. Well, Keith, actually, the fun thing is that my other fan clans, my original fan clans, that's the entire premise is that, like, back before Firestar and all of that, back when they were living in the forest territory, way back before anything in the canon books, some cats were like, hey, this is kind of, like, bad, actually. I don't like these rules. And they all just, like, dipped and formed a new clans, and that's where they come from. You totally should make your own story. That's the great thing about the generators. It gives you a jumping off point, so um, you're not working from scratch. You can have an idea starting out of what you want to do. This head is not where I want it to be. There we go. I like that better. People are always like, "How do you draw cats so well?" And I'm like, "I just move stuff around until it looks good. That's my secret." See, StarClan I think is the big sticking point. I know Tennille Flowers did a pretty good video about the issues with StarClan, but like my thing is it's so cool that they're just dead cats. They don't really have any supernatural powers. They don't really have any like mystical foresight. They're just doing their best. And it's weird that the way the Aarons write them doesn't lean into that. Because like that would be the thing that I would latch on to, be like, oh wow, like they don't know what they're doing either, you know? Good pep doodles, that is what I love to hear. It is always fun to try new things. Gonna do this face a little better before I actually ink it, because it is having some issues. Every time I draw a face on an angle, I'm like, this is a great idea, and then I do it and I'm like, ah, I've made a mistake. size did I give? Yeah, okay. I thought so. The other thing is cats don't really like wrinkle in the same way that humans do. So it's fun to get creative with how I want to like show that these cats are older. I mean, Scarlet, it really just comes down to like drawing them a lot, looking at real pictures. Like people are always like, "Oh, don't trace," but if you take pictures off Google of actual cats and just for your own practice draw over them to try and get the shapes down, like not to make a picture and claim it as your own or anything, but just to get the shapes into your hand. Because that's really all art is just muscle memory. It's the same thing as like playing an instrument or doing a sport. It's not some like magical thing where it just clicks in your head. It's all just getting it in your hand. Hi, Chloe. Oh, flute player. I see. I say this as though I didn't like take a little bit of piano and then ditch it as soon as I could. I did not enjoy instruments, but I always find it super impressive when people are good at them. My partner's a clarinet player, so they can back me up. Nice. Yeah, I never did band. I did choir for a while in middle school. That was fun. I was not super good at it, but now I know all the words to the auctioneer and it's never going to leave my head, so who really won? Give her like a little raggedy ear because she's old. Favorite cat to draw? I haven't drawn a lot of them, but I do because they're also just my favorite cat in general. I really like naked cats. I think they're very cute. I know a lot of people find them kind of weird looking, but that's kind of why I like them. Is they're weird looking. Do not like your legs, ma'am. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. Maybe. Yeah. I do like Bingus. I'm not super up on the meme of Bingus, but I like to see Bingus, when he appears in my periphery. I think the most fun clan I've had is definitely Bay Clan, just because, I mean, Bay Clan's whole thing is that they're fun. I really just went loose with them. And I love Den Dads. I feel very strongly that gender stereotyping in warrior cats is another huge problem, and I try to stay away from it where I can. So I'll draw female cats that are masculine looking and male cats that are feminine looking, and have different cats do different jobs based on their personality and not on their gender. I think especially the way warrior cats treats female cats is kind of sus, and I don't like it. But that's another reason it's kind of like a religious cult in that way. Religious cults tend to be much harder on the female members or the femme members, because not just biological females that get affected by it. But the way I see it, if these cats are basically just little human people with fur, then it's weird that they can have religion but not be gay or trans. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have it both ways, Aaron Hunters. Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying there weren't wonderful female characters. What I'm saying is that the plot of the books disproportionately punishes them for being female. Does that make sense? Like, Mapleshade is awesome, but her story is entirely like, oh, look at this woman who did a dumb thing and got pregnant when she shouldn't have, and that's just, that's what happens. And it's like, I don't have. Obviously, that kind of stuff can happen. I'm not saying they shouldn't have done that plot, but it's very telling with the kind of overall theme. It basically, like, in the context of everything else in the books, it doesn't look great. It's the same thing with Hollyleaf. I love Hollyleaf. I love Hollyleaf's whole story, but Hollyleaf's story is also, here's this girl who, thought that she understood things and had this whole, like, deep conviction and wanted to help her clan and everything, and then, like, oh no, she just, oops, oh oops. Yeah, I mean, the Errands are all women. That doesn't mean that they can't write women badly. Yeah, right. That's the thing. Like, StarClan, like, oh, we need these kits to happen. Also, by the way, Leafpool, we're gonna be mean to you for having them, even though they're like prophecy cats. It's very hypocritical. It, by the way, just to make this very clear, we are Leafpool positive in this house. We love Leafpool. If you don't love Leafpool, that's totally understandable because there's like 5 million cats and it's okay to have different tastes. But in my house, we like Leafpool. Hey, hijinks tea. Yeah, we're talking about how I love Leafpool. I mean, it again, it's pretty telling that like my very favorite Warrior Cats character is Jingo, who exists just to be like, yeah, Soul uh did a bad thing to me and now I'm stuck in this bad situation and I'm never going to get closure and I'm never going to see a resolution and I'm just going to stop existing once I'm done helping you. That makes me very sad. I don't like just introducing a character so they can like serve a purpose that isn't necessary and then just disappear. Like they don't need to meet Jingo. The only reason that Jingo and Jingo's whole clan is there is to be like, "Oh, Soul is so terrible. Look at this other bad thing he did." And then if you introduce that and don't do anything with it, it feels cruel and lazy. Yeah, Squilv is all of our childs. We are also squirrel flight positive in this house. Also, it's alright if you don't understand anything that we're talking about. It's Warrior Cats is, for being books about cats, incredibly complicated and full of drama. There's a reason that I have not read past the fourth arc, because my gosh, I can already barely keep track of what's going on. Honestly, it's super easy to keep up with it just through the fandom. Like, all I gotta do is watch the latest stuff on YouTube and I know everything I need to know, I feel like. Hello, y'all. Everyone who's new showing up. I know I started streaming at like a weird time, so don't feel bad about being late. It's not like I announced this or anything. I just was like, I'm gonna stream for no reason at all on a Wednesday night. Yeah, I feel like a problem that the Errands have, like, okay, this is how I explain it to people that don't read the books. It's like all these women are writing a story about their cat OCs, but none of them can agree on anything about the cat OCs, and so they keep like introducing new stuff and taking away stuff and just going off on different plot threads and leaving plot threads dangling because they don't care about it. It's very disorganized. And I don't feel that's necessarily the fault of the errands because they are a group of people who also are getting handed down orders from their publisher. But like it shows. It really shows. Yeah, Dovewing. I feel like that's one of the big jokes in the fandom is, oh, Dovewing's eyes. It definitely feels like they're not communicating with each other. Oh yeah, no, don't worry, Crispy. I definitely have plans for stuff after the introduction videos. Like I said, I've got, a whole story percolating. I want to do animation memes. I want to do like just art speed paints. I definitely want to do clan and camp art because I feel like a lot of people don't do that, but I like drawing backgrounds, and I feel like that's a fun character building thing, is showing where the cats live and like how they have their camp set up. So that's also definitely going to happen. So yeah, that once the intro videos are done, that won't be the end of them. Promise. I keep getting distracted by chat and not actually drawing. Y'all are too fun to talk to. I do like using the word percolating. It's one of my favorite words. Yeah, listen. Okay, Jinxed. Okay, we gotta talk about just in general the deaths. So, like, I have a bone to pick because in I can't remember which book it was of the fourth series, but one of the books with Dove, um, they go and they do that whole thing with unclogging the dam, and it's all super like, ooh, cool, wow. And then they're helped by those kitty pets or whatever, and that ends with them getting like washed away, and they don't know if those cats are okay or not. Like, and Dove has that whole moment where she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna, respect kitty pets more after this because they helped us." And then, like, immediately she completely forgets about them and is like, "This cat from RiverClan who I barely knew is dead. I'm gonna angst about that for like 3 weeks." She cares about that RiverClan cat more than she cares about Longtail when Longtail dies. And the narrative is the same way. When Longtail dies, the books are just like, "Oh, whoop, Longtail's dead. We're moving on now. This iconic character from the very first book is gone. That's all you get." It feels, I don't know. It feels very much like with Warrior Cats, the books are like, a thing happened, and a thing happened, and a thing happened, and there's no planning, and there's no wait. And maybe I'm picky because I'm one of those people that read a ton of books as a kid and is like was going to major in English, but I do not like the writing in Warrior Cats. I feel like a lot of it is very lazy or underdone. Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, but like it's a children's series, but I feel like mm, I think that things that are intended for children can be child appropriate without speaking down to their audience. I feel like the Warrior Cats books, especially the more recent ones, are undervaluing their audience and not treating their audience with respect. Yeah, Hawklegs, like, again, Gravity Falls, obviously intended for a tween audience, the same as Warrior Cats is. Like, I am an adult man who's into Gravity Falls, but I respect that it is not aimed at me. And I feel like Gravity Falls respects the fact that the, like, 11 to 13-year-olds it's trying to make a show for aren't stupid. You know, like there's some genuinely scary stuff. There's some pretty heavy topics. It's addressed in a way that is appropriate for the age group it's aimed at, but it doesn't say you're too stupid and young to understand these things, so we're just going to do rainbows and butterflies and pretend that everything's okay. Gray Stripe's secret wife. Yeah, that's basically it. Dude, yeah, no, Dipper's crush on Wendy is like the best thing because boys that age need to understand like it's normal to have those feelings. She's too old for you. Like accept it gracefully and move on. You can be normal about it because a lot of young men that age are not socialized to be normal about it. I think that that was a really good plot for the age group that they were aiming the show at. Oh, hey Navi. Hi. It's so weird when people who like don't know me primarily from YouTube show up. Yeah, Dipper, like the thing about Dipper and why I love Dipper is that he is written like both he and Mabel are written like the actual age that they are. And that should make you cringe cuz everybody in that age group is kind of cringy. Like I mean that lovingly cuz I was that age and I was cringy, but it's true. I keep forgetting to actually draw. Y'all gotta stop being so engaging. Hey, listen, the 12-year-olds watching this need to understand that I love and respect them, but like, looking back on being 12 from someone who was almost 30, I was not as cool as I thought I was. Chloe, your brain is gigantic and wrinkled. We need more polycats. It would solve so many, but like we can never have that because the Aarons really like to write love triangles and forbidden romance, and if they all just got together, that would like kneecap the plot. Also, yeah, exactly. Be cringe. Like, I'm not saying, when you're 12 you're cringe and that's bad. I'm saying when you're 12 you're cringe and that's like normal. And you should keep that, honestly, just a little bit of it in your heart. That, like, ability to just do stuff you love and not feel bad about it. I feel like a lot of people my age would love to recover that kind of ability. It's something to be proud of. A cat without a sense of smell actually would be really cool. Because cats use their sense of smell to see, essentially. Like a cat without a sense of smell would be half blind. But I don't think the Aarons want to put in the work to write that. Because I mean, like, look how they wrote Jay Feather, where they were like, we're gonna write a blind cat, but also he can basically see. So Leafpool and all her wives. True. It's true. Jay Feather could have been a great warrior once he got over himself a little bit. And Hollyleaf could have been a good medicine cat if, like, people believed in her more. Aw, thanks, Beetle. Also, thank you for everyone else who has left me compliments. It's hard to, like, catch up with the chat and see every single person, but I do know that I know that you're there, and I thank you. Yeah, cats do use their whiskers for sensing a lot. That's why when my cat was like, I'm gonna smell this candle, she spent the next couple days just, like, bumping into things. My Sona is a boar. Not a specific species of boar because I'm lazy, but like just one of those wild boars that has a big mohawk. Dude, piebald, yeah, like I get it. Some of the names sound really cool, but like it's weird to me that when a cat, like when something bad happens to a cat, the first response is, "We're gonna name you after this bad thing that happened to you." It feels mean. Thanks, Easter. Right now I'm drawing one of the elders from sageclan. This is Skybloom, who is Thistlepelt and Olive Nose's mom. She is one of three elders who are all sisters. I'm really glad I decided to give this whole family these like giant ears because they're really fun to draw. Thanks for not swearing. I keep going back and forth on whether like I'm okay with swearing because again, I'm a 30-year-old. I don't think there's anything wrong with swearing. I think it's just words, but like I also know other people don't like it and YouTube doesn't like it. Oh, that's a good question if elders get to like have a special adornment to be like, "Oh, you're old and respected now." I'm going to think about that. Chaos Gremlin, no. TOS.